Morning class. Today we are going to revise the chapter A Gift of Justice. So, here Mridu was a young girl growing up in Madras, now called Chennai, with Tapi. Tapi is her grandmother, and Tata, her grandfather. So one afternoon, Tapi takes her to her aunt Rukumani's house to meet her cousins Lalli, Ravi, and Meena. So here we'll see Mridu was a young girl once her grandmother Tapi took her to her aunt Rukumani's house. The aunt had three children, Lalli, Ravi, and Meena. As soon as the aunt opened the door, Ravi and Meena came out. They pulled Mridu in and Mridu asked them to wait. She took off her shoes and put them neatly beside a pair of chappals there. These chappals were large and black. So the chappals were large and black. They were so covered with dust that they looked grey. The color was black, but because of the dust, they looked grey in color. Mridu had no time to ask whose slipper they were because Ravi dragged her to backyard. There he showed her a kitten behind a thick berry bush or a thick bitter berry bush. It lay in a torn football lined with sacking and filled with sand. So Meena told Mridu that the elders did not like kitten. It was a secret. So it was a secret between the children. Ravi was very much excited. He told Mridu how he was able to manage some milk from the kitchen. Pati had seen him. The glass of milk Ravi made in excuse. He took a glass of milk. He said that he was hungry. Pati asked him to drink and give the empty tumbler back to her for washing. He somehow sent her away saying that he would himself wash the tumbler. Then he ran to put the milk into the coconut shell, from which the kitten could drink it. Now here, Ravi said that the kitten's full name was Mahendra Varma Pallavapuna or MP for short. Seeing Mridu impressed, Ravi began to speak very high of his kitten. He told her that the cat or kitten was the emblem of the ancient Pallava kings. At this, Mridu began to laugh. But Ravi was not the one to give way. He argued that everyone knows that lions and cats are close relatives. Then he said he was sure his Mahendran was the descendant of Mahabalipuram Rishi cat. He remembered Mridu that the people in ancient Egypt worshipped cats. Now here, seeing that Mridu remained unconvinced, Ravi spoke with more passion. Egyptians, he said, worshipped cat goddess Bastet. One of the descendants of Bastet was hidden in a Pallava ship. is thus came to Mahabalipuram, MP Mahendranath. He insists, was a descendant of this very cat. Ravi was so pleased with his own arguments that he cried loudly with pleasure. At the same time, there was a screeching sound. These sounds frightened the kitten. He jumped up and ran towards a bamboo tray of red chilies and tipped a few chilies over himself and howled miserably. Mridu asked where that screeching sound had come from. It was then revealed that the sound came from the room through the window. Lalli was learning to play violin. Ravi explained that the music master taught at a great speed. Okay, so music master taught in a very good speed, in a great speed, but Lalli never understood anything. So here, whenever she played, she made only this screeching sound. So he said that she always made this screeching sound. So Mridu peeped through the window. She saw Lalli holding the violin. The music master sat before her. He was beating time on the floor with his big toe. He played a few notes. Mridu was impressed, but Lalli was clearly not able to learn much. Suddenly, there was a call from a beggar on the door. So, Ravi's mother asked Ravi to send the beggar away. Ravi went to the door followed by Mridu and Meena. He told the beggar to go away. But the beggar would not listen to him. He raised his voice, Amma, Amma, oh. Rukumani heard it and replied from where she was. The orders were clear. The beggar was not only asked to go but also never to come back again. Now the beggar told Ravi that he would go after resting for a while. Saying this, he also showed blister on his bare foot. Now here, Mridu felt pity. Mridu felt pity. She asked Ravi to give an old pair of chappals if there was one. The children decided to search the house for a pair of chappals for the beggar. Mridu's eyes fell again on the odd-looking chappals. She had laid her own shoes beside them. She whispered to Ravi, "Whose are these?" Ravi picked them up. Then the children came back to the beggar and gave him those chappals. The beggar was too pleased to stay there any longer. He blessed the children and went out with the chappals. After some time, the music master came looking for his chappals. He could not find them. He called Lalli and both of them looking for his chappals, but in vain. Soon Rukumani came there, followed by Pati. She saw Ravi, Mridu and Meena sitting under the tree. She asked them in a stern voice if they know anything about the chappals. Mridu thought that Rukumani wouldn't be so upset if she knew everything. So she told her about the poor beggar with sores on his feet. She also told Rukumani how the children had gifted those chappals to the beggar. So here, Rukumani was angry at Ravi. Ravi tried to argue that he had done the right thing. However, she was too angry to listen. She ordered him to go inside that very minute. Then she herself hurried indoors. She brought out Gopu Mama's hardly worn new chappals. She offered them to the music master. The music master accepted them gladly. The music master had gone and Rukumani brought Mridu into the kitchen to give her some refreshment. Now her anger had gone. She laughed. She thought with Gopu Mama would say when he knew that his chappals had gone. So here the Gopu Mama would say when he knew that his chappals had gone. He would know that they had gone to the music master. So that's all about this chapter.